Mr. Ivan, because I didn't understand it. Ivan, tell me, you cannot see Miss Marcela's or anybody's work because I got it. If you want to see in Storybird, you have to search instant sketch. You understand?
Yes.
Okay, so the ones I can see because they send it. Yeah, this is Mr. Samuel. Samuel, I'm going to share yours for a second. Quiero que vean what you did. I have también como Miss Marcela's. He made this. A ver,
No recuerdo si era Marcela, pero era de alguien.
yeah, okay. But you can check your partners too. The thing is, if we do blogs, o sea, los blogs, I don't know if you've ever done it, some diarios for you to write, and anybody can read it, give comments to you. We can do it too, but it's just one platform, it's blogs. And it's really good. I have my blog page. No me busquen, tengo otro nombre. And I write what I have in my heart. And I have two people that read me. Really funny, but it's fun. It really opens your mind. Okay. So this is the writing and this is Mr. Samuel. This was really nice too. A ver que cargue. Él también me mandó directo así by PDF. And it's much easier. See, if you have problems with that, you can do it by PDF. Yeah. Y pueden ver los comments también. Yeah. So let's wait for a second, please. There are 11 pages, and he used this type of drawings. Yeah, they're really nice, and he just made questions like this in a very academic way, maybe cartoonish for children to read, even me to understand. And he used the pictures that related. Yeah, so they were really nice with what's going on. But the problem was that it wasn't there the greenhouse effect. It was just the greenhouse. That was the mistake. Yeah, because the explanation is really different. But it was great work because the drawings that he used, it matched what the writing. So there are many ways for you to use it. Okay. Thank you, everybody. So let's hear our oh, where's my list? Okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so the first one, I don't know if Miss Catherine's here. Oh, did you work together or you did individually? I think you did individually, no problem. So no mark. Miss Mr. Martin, you can start, please. Do you want me to
Yes, me.
do you want me to share my screen or you're just gonna talk?
Yes, Miss. Can I share my screen?
Okay. All right. Please start.
Okay. Okay. Un momento, please. Okay. No. Gallery. Yes, Miss. Okay. I choose the National Sport Achievement. I decided to talk about the Jamaica. It's an English-speaking country, and Jamaica has one of the great sportsmen ever. His name is Usain Bolt. He beat all the records around the world, become the fastest man in the world. He won around 9 gold medals for the country. He participates and represents for the country in a lot of Olympic games. And he was able to influence the world he showing there is no limits because actually he is a hero for the athletes, and he made great personalities like Obama or royal family, and he influenced the sport world. And another side in our country, I think the sport achievement is behind the main or principal events like football, because in our country we have a great sport which we see in the image. The image is the last event, Olympic Games in Tokyo. We have this person that represents our country, but unfortunately they didn't want a gold medal like Bolt, but they proud they are proud of nation like Bolt. I think the important sport achievement is make visible our country and proud for the to be a proud for the nation like a Bolt. And our country is less important because also around the football or another sport. But there is another sports like karate or less known sports, athletics, for example, or automobilism or another sports that we have a great sportsman.
All right, very good, Mr. Marcy. So you saw clearly how sports achievement can bring
Uh-huh.
joy to a country and also to a whole community, right? Yes,
Yes.
yes, very good. So it was great to see the comparison because
Mhm.
one thing that I can share with you is that Jamaica is not a very wealthy country. It's an island, of course, and
Yeah.
is not, it doesn't have as much as we do in Bolivia. So because culturally sports is very important in that country. So yes, they build those runners. But for us, like you said, we pay attention to other sports that,
Mhm.
yeah. Thank you, Mr. Marcia. Great example. Thank you.
Thank you, Miss.
All right. Okay. I don't know, Gabriela, if you did something.
Yes, Miss. I'm gonna share my screen.
All right. Okay.
Hey, Miss. Can you see?
Yes, I can see. Really nice. Okay.
The topic I chose is strong traditions, and I chose one from Bolivia, and it's coming soon.
Okay.
It's all activity, and I also gonna talk about Halloween.
Okay.
First, uh, those months, it's a day to remember, and the three main aspects are: it's a time to gather family, a time to pray, and it's basically saying a last goodbye to the people who passed away recently. This happens only once a year, always on the 2nd of November. And during this festivity, the memory of the dead is cultivated. The graves are with flowers and some letters, also maybe. And the cemetery also is full. Everybody goes to visit their loved ones, and families, it's a way that families pay tribute to their ancestors. This is known as a feast also, and like I said, it takes place on November 2 of November, and this festival begins a day before at noon, when the souls, it says that the souls come back at noon, and they go back to heaven the next day. So it begins a day before the first. Um, in this November the 1st, the families begin to prepare a table where they arrange many things, many symbolic objects, mainly that are taking place on the table, like food, fruit, pastries, sweets, flowers, sugar, and also a lot of breads. The main thing that it's known in the Todos Santos is the Santa Babas that everybody knows, and it's like everybody and everywhere. These are made of different sizes, are leathers, horses, and also people sometimes, all made of bread. And these are in this way the deceased are served with what is on the table. They also find in the table what they used to like more when they were alive, like their favorite food. And at noon of the November of the 2nd of November,
Uh-huh.
it begins of saying goodbye, say bye to beloved ones, and as return to heaven. And this is accompanied with a big meal because the person take a lot of energy to their return trip. This is a and see the food and fruit, the decoration that has the only pro and the tantawas.
Okay.
And lastly, Halloween that has become a new tradition. It has called attention that in recent years, this American tradition has become more and more popular among young people and mostly children. And it takes place on the 31st of October. The center of the city is full of people in costumes,
Uh-huh.
mainly teenagers and kids, but also parents, like the picture. But I've seen that some people dislike the tradition because they think it's just a way of us copying what the Americans do. But others are learning to accept it, embrace it, and enjoy it. So whatever is the case, it's clear that this new tradition is here to stay. And that's all. Thank you.
All right. Okay. Thank you. So you focus mainly on Whole Saints Day, whole Todos Santos Whole Saints Day, and you compare it to that. It has a really close relation. Yeah, and I liked how you featured those traditions that still are among us, right? And it's really fun. I enjoy Halloween because of the culture I acquired from a young age, and also Whole Saints Day because it's a festivity, like you said, a very familiar one, and that we remember the people that just passed away. Yeah, really nice, Miss Gabriela. Thank you for sharing. All right, so that's it. Great job, everybody. And remember, we have to do a lot of presentations, but the writing part will be some of them, yes, the ones that are really important that we need to practice. And I'm thinking of doing in platforms, okay? Not the boring style that we use on sheet. We have to make it fun, right? So let's continue with our book. And to finish, okay, so we have this part, help yourself. So we're gonna do this listening, yeah, because we need to. And it's given presentations, okay? I know you'll master presentations. We come from a educational culture that giving presentation is a must in any type of education, right? So our teachers since kindergarten taught us how to speak in public, right? Uh, we we've done recitals. We talked about cooking. We talked about our pets. We practice in school so many times. At university, it's an academic level, right? So there was even if you go to any part of the world, you need to know how to do presentations. So this is just advices for you to check if you do it or not. If you already know how to and you know, just relax, okay? It says, in what situations do people give presentations? Tell me, in what situations? Hmm? In what situation? Come on, in what situations?
It's possible to show or to share some knowledge to other people, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. When you present a piece of work, when you present a study to other students, maybe commercial products, uh, to introduce in public a part of a company training program. So there are many ways to give in presentations. Okay. B, in what situations, either at work or as a part of your studies, might you need to give presentations? This you know very well, but I want to hear you. In what situations? Mainly. Talk about yourself. In what situations?
Defend a project.
Okay. Okay. To present a project. Might you need to give a presentation? Yeah. Also, even if you never thought of it, even to sell a house at work, you need to give a small presentation, right? The people that, I don't know, go by bus, travel by bus. Unfortunately, there are many people that give presentations of, of products, and we must hear them, but they're really prepared to just give the right information, right? So anytime you can give a presentation. And see, in part two of the IELTS speaking test, candidates have to talk without interruption for 1 to 2 minutes. In what ways is this task similar and different to a normal presentation? Can you see the differences?
Means maybe when there is a election, the electors give their presentation. They don't interrupt it.
Okay, there's no interruption. Okay, what else? Because all of you are candidates when you give 1 to 2 minutes speaking test. So, in what other ways in this task similar or different to a normal presentation? You said time. Very good. It's very limited. And sorry, and it's interrupted. What else? ¿Qué más? Okay. So it's very different from 1 to 2 minutes because when you give presentations, you take long, like Mr. Marcio is, don't get interrupted all the time, and you're not asked all so many questions about a topic that you're not even prepared. Because when you give a presentation, you already know what to say. You have time to search, to go to any type of sources to get the right information. But here in IELTS, you just have to think of all the things that you know. And it's just, woohoo, start speaking, right? And the audience. In the IELTS, you're in front of your, of a tester, but in a presentation, you can be in front of your teacher or the whole class or the country, right? It's very different. Number two, you're going to listen to the beginnings of two talks and discuss these questions. Okay? We're going to listen twice, this part. Now please, please be patient, because I always have problems here. Please answer those questions, A, B, and C.
Unit 9, page 116. Help yourself. 2. Listen to the beginnings of two talks, then discuss the questions. Talk 1.
Today, I shall be looking at what we mean by the term community and the importance of the concept of community from a sociological point of view. In everyday life, the term community has a wide range of meanings. It can be applied to places, for example, the village community, to social groups like the student community, to religious or racial groups like the Buddhist community. Even among sociologists, there is little agreement about a precise definition, although there is a degree of acceptance for Newby's broad ideas. Newby defined community in three main ways. Firstly, as a social system, that is, a set of social relationships. Secondly, as a fixed locality, in other words, a geographical location. And thirdly, a quality of relationship, by which he meant a spirit of community. Some sociologists regard these three aspects of community as interlinked, but Newby insists that they are distinct. Newby illustrates his point by pointing out that we cannot guarantee that living in the same locality automatically promotes a warm spirit of community.
Talk 2.
Today we'll be looking at what we mean by the term community. And I'd like to start by asking you to tell the student sitting next to you what different communities you belong to. When you've done that, go on to think of a definition of community. I'll give you a couple of minutes for that. Okay, let's find out what you came up with. How many of you said a community was essentially a geographical location, maybe somewhere people live, a village, for example? Okay, thank you. And how many preferred to describe a community as a group of people with similar ideas, like a political party, for example? Thank you. And finally, how many thought of community as something less tangible, a feeling of belonging, perhaps, an emotional location, if you like? Okay, well, that's very interesting.
One more time, okay?
Unit 9, page 116. Help yourself. 2. Listen to the beginnings of two talks, then discuss the questions. Talk 1.
Today, I shall be looking at what we mean by the term community and the importance of the concept of community from a sociological point of view. In everyday life, the term community has a wide range of meanings. It can be applied to places, for example, the village community, to social groups like the student community, to religious or racial groups like the Buddhist community. Even among sociologists, there is little agreement about a precise definition, although there is a degree of acceptance for Newby's broad ideas. Newby defined community in three main ways. Firstly, as a social system, that is, a set of social relationships. Secondly, as a fixed locality, in other words, a geographical location. And thirdly, a quality of relationship, by which he meant a spirit of community. Some sociologists regard these three aspects of community as interlinked, but Newby insists that they are distinct. Newby illustrates his point by pointing out that we cannot guarantee that living in the same locality automatically promotes a warm spirit of community.
Talk 2.
Today we'll be looking at what we mean by the term community. And I'd like to start by asking you to tell the student sitting next to you what different communities you belong to. When you've done that, go on to think of a definition of community. I'll give you a couple of minutes for that. Okay, let's find out what you came up with. How many of you said a community was essentially a geographical location, maybe somewhere people live, a village, for example? Okay, thank you. And how many preferred to describe a community as a group of people with similar ideas, like a political party, for example? Thank you. And finally, how many thought of community as something less tangible, a feeling of belonging, perhaps, an emotional location, if you like? Okay, well, that's very interesting.
Okay. So, what are the situations? It says here the first one. What are the situations and who are the speakers? The first situation, what is it? What was it? Hmm? And who are the speakers?
Means speech about the concept of community.
Oh, okay, it was about concept. So it's maybe more it's a conference or a university course. Yeah. And who is the speaker? It could be a professor, a lecturer, an academic, someone that has a lot of information to give. And the second speech, where is that? First, what and who? The second speaker.
At school, the speaker is a teacher.
Yeah, very good. B, in what ways are the talks different?
Miss, I think that the first speaker wants to transmit the information as clear as possible, and the second wants to involve in some way to students in the information what is given.
Very good. Yeah, yeah. And C, which talk do you personally find more effective? And give reasons. More effective.
The second miss, but I think that is important that the student expose their opinion.
All right, very good. Okay, so that is up to you to make your presentations. Now, we have to finish this part. Read these tips of making presentations. Some of the advice is sensible, but not all. Write a tick next to advice which you think is worth following. So you choose that suits best for you. The first one is equipment. Impress your audience by using as many different aids as possible. Practice using any equipment or apparatus beforehand. 2, it is planning. Write the headings in brief notes that you can understand at a glance. Así, una miradita rápida. Write the full script of your presentation and underline key points. 3, practicing. Practice referring to written notes while you speak. Practice using your voice effectively. Don't speak too quickly or too slowly. Vary the pitch and volume of your voice. Yeah, it shouldn't be just one monotonous sound. Vary the pitch. Like, yes, she said that, and then no, 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 no. So it varies. Starting, break the ice with a joke or anecdote related to your topic. Define all the difficult terms you are going to use and involve your audience in some way, for example, by asking them a question. And 5, rounding off. That's finishing. Summarize the key points you have made in your presentation and with a provocative statement or a question to the audience. So you are the ones that you tick and what suits you. You cannot, you cannot be someone that you're not, right? So you have to be yourself and make it interesting for everybody to hear. These are tips. You can change your way of thought and you can practice also. Always, always follow an organization. I know the IELTS is just start speaking something, but if you have time, just relax and say something. Okay, so that is the end of Unit 9. And we have 8 minutes, so do you have any questions about this? Of everything we did? I mean, it was a lot. And now we are going to start Unit 10. And just an introduction, the natural world. Okay, so first of all, I have to admit that my animal kingdom vocabulary isn't that wide. I have some problems finding out the names of specific animals. So if you know, please help. Yeah, I love to watch Discovery Channel and animals and etc. But I don't remember their names. But I'll try. Okay. So it says, look at the photos and decide which of these creatures you want to. If you don't know the names, don't worry. We're gonna work that out too. 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, we have all those beautiful animals. And it says, is harmless to humans. Which one is harmless from these pictures that you think is harmless? That won't hurt you, won't bite you, won't eat you, and won't kill you. Which of these 6 animals? Just give me the number.
Miss the harmless is one. I think it's ornithorynco.
Yes. Okay, so you believe it's number 1. I'm just gonna put it, then I'll give you the answers. Can injure people but not kill them. Injure but not kill. You can repeat if you wish. No problem.
4, Miss.
4. All right. Sometimes kill people.
6.
6. You say 6. Okay. And kills the most people.
2, Miss.
Da, 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 da. I'm gonna give you the answers, and they're amazing. All right, you ready? First, let's identify the animals. The first animal is called platypus. Yeah, in English it's called the platypus. Platypus. The second animal is called basking shark. This one is called the basking shark. The third one that I think no one could see it properly it is called the blue ringed octopus. It's an octopus. You can see the front of the face or the mouth, but it's called blue ringed because it has rings, ringed octopus. The fourth one, it's called, but everybody knows, it's called the mosquito. The fifth one is called the centipede. And the sixth one is our local friend, the crocodile. Okay, so now we identify them. And is harmless to humans is picture number 2. Yeah. Basket, it means that the mouth, it's like a basket. So it swallows small type of fish, like a whale kind of, but it doesn't have any teeth, sharp teeth like the jaws. It doesn't, right? So it's harmless to humans. It's just big and enormous, and people get scared of, but they don't kill you. Can injure but not kill is the platypus. Yeah, it has a tail. I think it has like a hook or something, like a needle that it could hurt you to defend itself, or its paws. Let's say I was reading about that, but I'm not sure. But yes, it could injure, and also the centipede. The centipede, yeah, it could hurt you too. Then sometimes kill people. It is, yes, of course, a crocodile and the octopus. And the octopus can kill you. Yeah. It has, the rings has a type of venom, I think. So if you touch it, I don't know. And the last one, most people in the world, it is the mosquito. Malaria and all those horrible diseases comes from mosquitoes. So that is the information you know. The one that you got really well was sometimes kill people, the crocodile. Okay, so it's we're gonna be in a world that we love to watch. We're not near. We in Oruro we just have the quinquincho, a fly, una mosquita por ahí, an ant, una hormiguita, and spider, una arañita, some birds, maybe a puma around, a hukumari around there, llamas, sheep, cows. So we don't have this type of animals here. So that's why it's a very peaceful part of the world that we don't know, and we don't have much insects, right? So match the description A to F to each of the photos where you answer above correct. Yeah. So you have A to F. We have just a minute, so tomorrow we'll complete with that. And remember, I will check the Storybird if you can write something, if your account hasn't dropped, and if it has, I will search for another platform. Okay, so thank you so much, and see you tomorrow, everybody. Bye.
See you tomorrow, Miss.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, me.
Bye, Miss.